Hello students, welcome to Sarasa classes. This is Dr. Sakar over here. So today we will be giving you some exact tips for the Combined Geo-Scientist Preliminary Examination 2022. As you can see, the date of exam is 22/2022. Okay. Now, before 2020, this exam was conducted in a different way, but after 2020, that is 2020-21, if you see the question paper style, then you will find out that there is a little bit change. And that change is there is a total of 140 questions now, rather 120 questions now. And I'm just going to show you the paper of 2020. So it begins with 1 and it ends with 120. And there is an equal distribution of around 40 questions on each of the separate topics of physical chemistry, inorganic chemistry, and organic chemistry. So 40 questions each from there. And the question that will be bothering students is what type of topics they should go through, or I should say something like a predictor for exam. What topics to cover. So if you judge by the two question papers that has been uh, asked in 2020 and 21, what you will find is that there will be a question on the atomic structure and involving Schrodinger equation. There will be a question regarding electronic configuration, that is using above principle. There will be a question regarding the correct electronic configuration of elements in which the concept of exchange energy is being used, that is whether half filled or incompletely filled orbitals are more stable. So you can expect some exceptional questions over there, like electronic configuration of palladium, chromium, okay, then molybdenum or copper. So these kind of things you have to study. You can also expect questions regards to the atomic spectra, in which they might ask you about the energy or frequency or wave number of a Lyman line or a Balmer line. So these topics are going to be vital in this section of atomic structure. Apart from that, from the periodicity part, you can expect regular questions regarding to ionization energy. Exceptions there, as you know, for oxygen, nitrogen, or for phosphorus and sulfur, there is a switch, okay, which is higher, which is lower, those kind of things. Regarding electronegativity or electron affinity, whether this is a exothermic or endothermic process, in what cases it will be zero, the electron affinity, okay, its order with the halogens, these kind of things you can expect as a question. How the basic character or the acidic character of oxides changes within the period, along the period, or along the group, these type of questions you can expect in the periodicity part, okay. Apart from that, regarding chemical bonding chapter, there are many things that you have to consider. There will be obviously a question about the bond order or bond length using the molecular orbital theory concept. Please expect that. And also the magnetism, whether magnetism is paramagnetic or diamagnetic, this type of things. You can also expect questions related to Fajan's rule, okay, regarding solubility, color, okay, using the polarizing concept. Also expect questions regarding lattice energy, wherein the concept of Hess's law is being used to calculate lattice energy. The variation of covalent bond or relation of covalent bond with a metallic bond or with a van der Waals radius or ionic bond. So these kind of things you can expect as a question. Polarity concepts may also be asked, in which you will be asked to calculate the ionic character of a HCl. So check how the dipole moment formula is being used. Okay, so those things, what is 1 d by equal to, so these type of things you have to be careful about. Next, approaching the P block chemistry. So mostly things that is related or in combination with stability of hydrides, what kind of hydrides you find, salt like hydrides, okay, or interstitial hydrides or covalent hydrides, their acidity, these kind of things you can expect to be asked. Questions related to acidity of oxoacids, okay, and mostly one should go through the sulfur, chlorine, halogen, or the group 16 and group 17 on group 15 oxoacids. Okay, what kind of oxidation states are there? Okay, which is a reducing acid? Okay, their acidity trends. So these type of things are very important for these type of exams. Okay, where the level of exam will not be as hard as you are expecting in a CSR net, but it will be somewhere near to what are asked in MSc JAM exam. Okay, so this type of uh, questions one can expect over there. Next, regarding coordination chemistry, always expect the questions like naming of compounds, something regarding the electronic spectra. Correlation diagram questions can also be asked over here. Complexes geometry and the calculation of crystal field stabilization energy. So these type of questions you can expect regarding this exam. Okay, so that is there. Now if you are going to move from here to the physical chemistry part, then in the physical chemistry part you can expect questions regarding mole concept. Okay, uh, you can expect questions using Henry's law. All right, you can also expect questions regarding the van der Waals equation if it is the uh, kinetic theory of gas. There you have to study the Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution curve for velocities of molecules, the relation between the CRMS, C most probable, okay, C average. So these type of questions you can expect. All right, all the time. These are the things that come. How, if we change the mass or temperature, the Maxwell distribution, Boltzmann distribution curve, it will change. So that is there. You can also expect questions regarding calculation of CPCV using equipartition principle. So the gamma values, how it will change for a monoatomic or a diatomic or a triatomic gas, the degrees of freedom there. So these kind of questions, okay, involving those, one can be asked in an exam like this. Questions regarding normality, molarity, and molality. Mostly molality are questions where people get stuck. So check those type of questions, how one can be given to calculate density or mole fraction, these type of things. How vapor density is related to molecular mass. Okay, how your specific heat is related to the atomic number, that is your Dulong-Petit's law. Okay, so these type of questions one can expect from the kinetic theory of gas. From thermodynamics, expect questions on entropy of mixing of gases, using sums related using the first law of thermodynamics. There again, you can have questions regarding the irreversible and reversible processes. Okay, work done calculation problems, problems relating Gibbs free energy with the equilibrium. So from there, one can approach towards the electrochemical work, Gibbs free energy relation with the electrochemical electromotive force, those kind of problems. So basically, for electrochemistry, try to go for the relation between conductance, okay, how, what is specific conductance, what is equivalent conductance, what is molar conductance, Cole-Roche's law problems, okay. These are vital as far as electrochemistry is concerned. Faraday first law, second law problems, okay, those also relating to some amount of mole concept, these things can be asked over there. You can also be asked questions regarding conductometric titrations. So graphs, those kind of things you can be asked over here. Next, from moving from electrochemistry, one can go into chemical kinetics. It's another section in which a lot of questions are getting asked. So relating to the RNase equation, okay, questions can be asked. Uh, question regarding molecularity or order also can be asked. Okay, and here, which is the first order equation, which is the second order equation, their graph related questions one can expect always to be asked to students. Questions regarding solid state, okay, in which FCC, BCC, hexagonal packing, how this packing are the calculation of Z over there. If you remove atoms, then what would be the formula of the compound? These kind of questions one should expect from solid state. Okay, so this is mostly the physical chemistry part. Okay, about chemical equilibrium and ionic equilibrium, I should say that over there one should go for the sums like relation between Kp, Kc, Kn, and Kx. Those things should be clear in your mind. Uh, the Lila-Sartelier principle problems, okay, those should be ones one should go for. In principle, know what is the concept. Okay, then one should also go for the calculation of the pKa of different salts. Okay, it can be a salt of a weak acid or a strong base, or a strong acid weak base, this type of things, or a weak acid weak base. Okay, so there, and some problems relating to solubility. Okay, so those things you have to be careful about. Now coming to the last part, which is the organic chemistry part. Mostly questions, if you see the last 2 years, you will see it is from reaction intermediates. They have asked most questions. Okay, so that one thing should be very clear. You have to have clear concept about carbocation stability, carbanion stability, okay, radical stability. So these things should be clear. Questions regarding mesomeric effect, okay, how they affect the stability of these intermediates, those can be asked. You should also be careful about questions regarding acidity and basicity of weak organic acids and bases. Okay, so there they can ask you predict the acidic strength or predict the strength of the acid in terms of pKa. So one should know how Ka and pK are related. Okay, so these things are very vital over here. Then questions regarding electrophiles and nucleophiles, those are very vital over here. Questions regarding electrophilic substitution reactions in aromatic systems and nucleophilic substitution reactions in aromatic systems are also vital over here. Mostly these senior substitution reactions are very vital, that is benzene mechanism. One should also expect questions regarding Grignard reagents over here. So that is something to deal with your alkyl halide. And there, once you're talking about alkyl halide, SN1, SN2, SNI mechanisms play a vital role and how these are getting influenced depending whether it is a 3-degree alkyl halide, 2-degree or 1-degree, what is the role of the nucleophile, what solvent you are using. So these things one should be very careful about in these type of examinations. Okay, they will be randomly at least 2 to 3 questions from here. Okay, now regarding stereochemistry, so stereochemistry questions, obviously you can expect questions from actropisomerism, you can expect question from allenes or phosphines, okay, or you can expect questions regarding optical activity, which is enantiomerism. It can also be which are these are diastereoisomers. These type of questions one can also expect it to be asked over here. Problems on optical activity regarding enantiomeric excess, these type of things can also be asked in this type of exams. So this is what has been so far, in these exams they have been asked. Regarding carbonyl chemistry, there has not been much questions in the recent years, so expect at least 2 questions on carbonyl chemistry. So that should be kept in mind. I hope that will be all about the exam tips I wanted to provide from my end, and hopefully you all will do well in this exam. And thanks for listening, and have a great day. And try not to study a lot in the night of before 20th. Have a great sleep and just go with full confidence, and hopefully God will bless you for your exam. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.